Hi everyone and welcome to Minecraftmum Survival Skills. In today's episode number 3, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to plant food and all the necessities that you'll need in order to survive in Minecraft. So what we'll do is make sure we've got a hoe, which is important to have. We've got a shovel. So I think what we're going to do is we'll put some food in the oven to cook, because I think we're going to be starting to get a bit hungry. And we're going to head out into the world, check on our wheat, which we planted on our first day, and ideally go looking for a little bit of the sugar, which you also use for making paper and all sorts of things. So what we're going to be doing is heading over to the desert area, which is where you typically find that sort of thing, and we're going to look for this plant that we use for making sugar and also for paper for lots of different useful things, including making books. So as we head over here, I may pick up a little bit more sand while we're at it, because that sand is going to be useful for planting the sugarcane in. So I'll grab a few blocks of that while we're here. That's a good amount. A few more blocks might come in handy. And we'll just do a little bit of exploring and walking around the desert area here. And that on the distance is what we are looking for, which is, I'm going to swim. So again, press W and then hold this spacebar down continuously, and that will take you over there. And that in the horizon is exactly what we needed, which is sugarcane. Fantastic to find it so close to home. So you can just break it by just punching it. So I'm just left clicking in this case with my shovel, and then just walk over the bits to pick them up. That's a good start. Oh, there's more over there. This is fantastic. So again, looking for sugar, one of the best places is the desert biome, and you can recognize the desert biome by all of the sand that you see around you. So we've got ourselves a good supply here, which is excellent. We're going to need to start growing as much as we can, because very soon into the game I'm wanting to build a library and start getting into doing some enchanting with you all. So we need to start getting the sugarcane growing so that we can have lots and lots of well, we'll turn it into paper in order to make the enchanting room. So looking around, I see a little bit more over in the distance, so we'll go pick that up. One of the ways you can travel more quickly if you've got water is by going by boat, but today it's not that far, so we'll just keep walking. It's early in the day, not too dangerous, so we'll just head over there now and pick that up. The other thing you can look for when you're walking around in the desert is what we call a desert temple, and you'll see those being large structures with some red clay type designs on them. Haven't seen any yet, but I'm going to keep an eye open. Those are really useful to find, because you can often find big blocks of TNT and horse's armor and all sorts of things there. So we'll pick those bits of... I was going to say, I don't know why we weren't picking those up. I thought we might have a full inventory. Sometimes you can't pick things up if you've filled your inventory up completely. But in this case, we're still very early in the game, so that shouldn't be the case. So again, just punch it and pick it up. And I'm just going to look over here and just check and make sure that isn't a temple or anything. No, it just looks like a bit of cobblestone mixed in with that hill. So let's head back to our base, which is this way. You can still see it in the horizon. That mountain is home. So we'll head back there. And the other thing, these little tumbleweeds here, if you hit them, you actually pick up little sticks. So that's a good top tip if you're ever in the desert and need to pick up and want some sticks quickly, because sometimes you look around, oh, there's no trees, what can I do? So again, just punch a tumbleweed and that will give you some sticks, which is quite a useful thing. Doesn't always, but quite often it does. Whoops, I'm going to drop down. We're okay. So we're heading right back to home, which again is that mountain. That's another good reason to build by a mountain, because it's always easy to find your way back to home. You can use F3 and use your coordinates to get home, but if you're looking around, you just look for the big mountain. That makes it very easy to get back to your base. So we'll head back. We're going to plant the sugarcane, and then we're also going to try and find and plant a few more seeds to grow some more wheat. I'd like a good supply of that again, because what we can do is use that. I'm going to change to my hoe now, which is in slot number 6, and we're going to just try and collect a bit more seeds. Just left click as you walk along. There, we got some seeds. There's some more seeds. And the taller grass usually will give you seeds. And just keep walking along. Oh, that's interesting. We've got a monster spawner in there. That is helpful to know, but I think we need to make sure we've got ourselves some armor before we go and look at that more closely. I'm going to just put a little marker here so that we know where to come back and find it. I think it was just back about there. And we'll head back home. I think we might need to go to sleep before we plant some of this. And we'll just pop down the hill and over around the corner and get ourselves back into bed. We're going to just fast forward through tonight, and that way I'll continue on this episode, and we'll there we go, quickly head upstairs before it gets dark, because at this point we don't have anything in the way of oh, I'm going to climb back up here. As I was saying, we don't really have anything to protect us in the way of armor, so we don't want to get too carried away. So we're going to just go to sleep quickly, and then we'll wake up in the morning, fast forwarding again through all the baddies by sleeping in our bed, and we'll just plant some of these things that we've collected yesterday. So I'm just heading down, trying not to drop too many steps. We're getting a little bit low on food, but for the moment that's okay. I'm just going to create some beds to plant my sugarcane. So you can just be patient with me for a minute here. I'm just going to create some areas to grow the sugarcane. And there we are. That'll give us some long beds with... Now, to plant the sugarcane, you just grab it, move it down to the bottom, and then what we'll do is place it in these rows. And you plant it by right-clicking. So I'm just going to plant it all along here, and all along here, and all along here. What we'll do, that water's sort of rushing along at the minute, and we can fix that once we've got ourselves an iron. Just drop some sound there. That's quite a good supply of sugar cane. We can put some along here as well. And now we shall plant a bit more of the wheat. As you can see, when it gets brown on the top there, that means it's ready to harvest. So we can grab that, again, just right click, and that will give you some wheat, which you can then use to attract animals. So we'll do that in a future episode, is get a good supply of cows or other animals to raise close to home. I'm going to put some torches around just to help the various things grow during the evening, because overnight you can see much better progress for your garden if you've put torches around there. I'm just going to expand the area as well, because we're going to probably want a slightly bigger area. And you can go within 4 blocks of water, so that's probably as far as we're going to go that direction. But I'll just smooth it out anyways. You can also place water elsewhere. So there we go. We have now got the basis of a farm, and that is the end of episode 3. We'll just have a walk back up to the house and take a look from up here. It's looking great. So again, thank you everybody for joining me for episode 3. We have created a farm, and we'll continue tomorrow by building our first mine. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below.